Assalamu alaikum, and good evening and Shubho Shonda. Pathao is revolutionizing the financial landscape for the aspiring Bangladeshi youth. There are 25 million urban millennials, people between the ages of 25 and 42, and a few folks that are between 18 and 25. And these are young people who are living in the cities, not just Dhakate, not just Chittagong, but also অন্যান্য divisional headquarters, অন্যান্য district towns, অন্যান্য ছোট ছোট উপজেলা সদরে। এরা অনেকেই ইন্টারনেট নিয়ে বড় হয়েছে, and many of them are technology enabled. They're also going up in the world. They are going up in terms of their income, their spending power, and they're increasingly moving their purchase behaviors online. So something magical happened about 15 years ago when this group of people started to engage in social media, access digital content. তারপরে গত 7-8 বছরে something even better happened. They actually moved their purchases for goods and services online. And within this segment, there is 3 million people, 3 million young professionals, young entrepreneurs that are between the ages of 25 to 35. They're university graduates, college graduates. They like the conveniences. They like to have the world at their fingertips in their mobile phones. Now, this group of consumers are also severely credit constrained. Bangladeshi credit card penetration is less than 1%. We all know this. Less than 1.5 million cards for over 170 million people. And quite ironically, এই যে populationটা যাদের একটা strong digital footprint আছে, they're also credit constrained because they don't have a documented salary history and a long credit history. সেই সাথে, and we've heard this many times, right? There are 8 million CMSMEs, cottage, micro, small, and medium enterprises. They're making significant contributions to the economy, generating 25 to 30% of the GDP. And they're also credit constrained. Within this group, there are over 250,000 small businesses that are technology enabled, and they're truly cottage. Many of them are working out of their homes. Half of them are women. They're working out of their homes, out of their phones, out of their laptops, selling their products all across the country. Not just in Dhaka, but all across the country, শহরে, গ্রামে, দেশের প্রত্যন্ত অঞ্চলে, সব জায়গায়. And despite the significant contributions that they're making to the country's economy, they are severely credit constrained. Banks, financial institutions are not lending to them. They're young people, they're digitally adept, and they're creating significant impact. Now, what is Pathao's fintech vision? It's quite simple. It's actually extremely simple. It's for this group of people to do just 3 things. 1, to enable them to transact how they want. Number 2, to help them access funds when they need. And number 3, to manage funds and manage their finances how they should. So এই কাজটা করার জন্য বেশ কিছু জিনিস লাগে। প্রথমে যেটা লাগে, there's a need for a trusted brand and distribution. What does that mean? It is incredibly expensive to acquire customers, especially digital customers. The extent to which these customers already have a digital footprint and they have a trust in a particular brand, to create access for them, to provide services for them, and particularly financial access to them, the job suddenly gets much easier. The other things that you need in order to address this segment is data and analytics. Now, শুধু data দিয়ে কিন্তু কোনো কাজ হবে না unless you know what to do with the data. Now, there are lots of transactions that are taking place in the traditional financial sector. Banks, financial institutions have reams and reams and reams of data. But in order to be able to harness this data, in order to use the analytics, the AI and ML capabilities that are required to analyze this data and to make credit decisions, it takes a special set of skills. And then finally, what is also required is capital. It requires both financial management and capital to unlock financing for this digital native and urban youth, as well as tech-enabled businesses. So where does Pathao come in? Pathao is Bangladesh's largest digital services platform. We have over 10 million users. It's a strong overlap between the digital native consumers that I described and with those that are already on our platform. They have our app inside their phones. Many of them have it as in the home screen, and they're engaging it with us on a daily basis. We have over 2 million monthly active users. They're using us for their urban commute, for rides, and for bikes and cars. They are using us for quick commerce to order their food online, as well as to have other essentials and groceries delivered to their doorstep. And we're also providing delivery services all across the country, especially for those small businesses that are tech-enabled. Now, we know a lot of the Pathao consumer businesses quite well, Pathao Food, Pathao Ride. But one of our largest businesses is Pathao Courier, which is the largest courier service provider for e-commerce and f-commerce businesses, serving over 100,000 small businesses. So for these small businesses and for these entrepreneurs, we're picking up the product, we're sorting it, we're transporting it all across the country, and then we're delivering it right to people's doorsteps. And in addition to that, we're collecting the cash, we're putting it into our bank accounts and wiring it back to the merchants. We're completing the full loop. So we are uniquely capable to harness this data and solve other problems, and the problems of credit access. So what are we doing today? On the consumer side, we have launched Pay Later. I'm going to talk a bit more about that. And then on the merchant side, we're bringing in embedded finance solutions for these entrepreneurs. In addition to that, we're also a fully licensed PSP wallet, and we have already got Pathao Pay in closed beta right now. We launched Pathao Pay Later about 18 months ago, initially in a very small cohort. And what we did was we took the most active and loyal users on our platform, we increased that cohort over time. So today, about 100,000 users have access to Pay Later. 50,000 of them are currently active. And we have given them a flexible spending limit of between 1,000 taka, 1,000 taka, to up to 8,000 taka. They have 15 days to spend as many times on the Pathao platform for Pathao Rides, for Pathao Food, and for Pathao Parcel. And at the end of that 15-day period, they have 30 days to fully repay. They can pay early, they can pay during that period, and then unlock more spending power. So since our launch, we have supported over 1 million transactions on Pay Later. We have disbursed over 35 crore taka, and our NPL, DPD 90, so not the 365-day stuff, which makes no sense, is less than 2%. And we find that people are using this, our consumers are using this, because they're able to access funds that they are not able to do anywhere else. They're not served by credit card providers. They're not served by other digital lenders. And the reason that we've been able to have such a high recovery rate, and you can do the math very easily. You're all mostly bankers. It makes no sense for us to chase after these outstanding dues and build a collection effort. The reason that we have such low NPLs is because people value the platform. They value the access to the platform, not just continuing to be able to use Pay Later, but to be able to continue to use Pathao Rides and Pathao Food. And that just shows what it can do for consumers. I'm going to share a few other interesting data as well. Since the adoption of Pay Later, the retention has gone up by 26%. So people are more loyal on the Pathao platform. Transaction frequency has gone up by 42%. That means that the users are more active on the Pathao platform. And the transaction spend per user since after they adopted Pay Later versus before has gone up 35%. So they're spending more money on the Pathao platform. So that can be of great value for the merchants. So this has helped our service providers, our drivers, our food delivery men, as well as our merchants. And of course, it has helped the platform itself. Now, in addition to Pay Later, we are also operating in closed beta, another product called Pathao Advance. Now, For our courier merchants, যারা ঢাকায় বসে কাজ করছে, তারা আজকে হয়তো 10টা প্রোডাক্ট সেল করেছে, তারপরে তারা আমাদের পাঠাও প্ল্যাটফর্মে এসে তাদের ওই পিক আপ রিকোয়েস্টে দিল। Our pickup agent goes to their site, picks up the products, brings it to our sorting facility, and then it's dispatched all across the country. যে প্রোডাক্টগুলো ঢাকায় ডেলিভার্ড হচ্ছে সেটা হয়তো আগামীকাল ডেলিভার্ড হচ্ছে, আর যে প্রোডাক্টগুলো হয়তো দেশের কোনো প্রত্যন্ত অঞ্চলে মেবি লালমনিরহাটে বা কুড়িগ্রামের কোনো একটা চরে ডেলিভার করা হচ্ছে, সেটা হয়তো আরও 3 দিন পরে হচ্ছে। And then 95+% of our deliveries are cash on delivery. তারপরে ওই ক্যাশটা কালেক্ট করে আমাদের ব্যাঙ্ক অ্যাকাউন্টে ভরা হচ্ছে, সেটা রিকনসাইল করা হচ্ছে তার পরের দিন, and then it's wired back to the merchant. If the merchant has the bank account at the same bank, they may be getting it the same day. সেটা যদি অন্য ব্যাংকে হয় তাহলে BFTN এর মাধ্যমে ওইটা হয়তো আরও একদিন পরে হবে। তাহলে চিন্তা করে দেখেন যে from the day that the product is picked up to the day that the merchant is receiving the cash, there's about a 7 calendar day gap. But small businesses need cash fast. They need cash to build up their working capital. They need cash to grow. So the product that we are currently in testing is one that enables the merchant to draw on the funds immediately upon pickup with zero credit risk to us. So this kind of embedded finance product can only be provided for platforms that have the data and are also entrenched in the cash cycle of those users. And that's what makes platforms powerful, and that's what makes platforms uniquely capable. So where next? So আমরা পাঠাও একটা কথা বলি, আমাদের যাত্রা তো সবে শুরু. So this we consider to be the first step in a long journey ahead we have towards creating more opportunity and more access for our users, for our consumers, and for our small businesses. We hope that on the consumer side, the small ticket, short-term embedded finance product that we have delivered through Pathao Pay Later can eventually lead the way for longer-term financing access, maybe in the form of EMIs for consumer durables purchases. Perhaps down the road, those same consumers will want to buy a car or a motorbike and eventually buy a house, and we want to be there to serve those consumers. On the merchant side, we're now currently addressing the short-term financing problems, the rainy day funds, if you will, for a few days or 7 days. But they also need to build up their working capital to build their inventory. So they will need longer-term revolving facilities. And then down the road, they would also need financing for growth. And we want to be able to serve those needs of those consumers, for those customers, in order to continue our path in revolutionizing the financial landscape for the aspiring Bangladeshi youth. Thank you.